10 years ago today, the Sainthood cause was opened for the first African-American Catholic priest. Father Augustus Tolton was born into slavery back in the 1850s. He overcame abject poverty, the death of his father, and even being denied acceptance by every Catholic seminary in the United States to become a Catholic priest. In 2019, Father Tolton was declared venerable by Pope Francis. And joining us now is Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, co-host of EWTN's God's Blueprint for a Happy Life and author of Father Augustus Tolton, the Slave Who Became the First African-American Priest, a book published by EWTN. Deacon Harold, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. Can you update us on where the canonization process for Father Tolton stands right now?
Yeah, as far as the process, it's actually moving pretty quickly for sainthood causes. He is now venerable, Augustus Tolton, and so he just needs a miracle to become blessed and then a second miracle to become a saint. So it's moving along quite nicely.
That is wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about him and what inspired you to write the book, and also, did it impact your faith?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was in seventh grade, that's when confirmations were held in the Archdiocese of Newark, where I grew up. And I went to the library to find a saint that looked like me. And so I was looking, I accidentally came across Sister Carolyn Hemisath's book, From Slave to Priest, which is the biography of Augustus Tolton. I'd never heard of him before. So I said, wow, that kind of piqued my interest. And so when Ignatius Press bought the rights to Sister Hemisath's book and republished it in 2005, they asked me to write the new foreword to the book and also to help publicize it. So about Augustus Tolton, which I was more than happy to do. It reacquainted me with this amazing saint and really inspired me to write the book, which is lessons we can learn from his life that we can apply to our everyday lived experience today.
That is wonderful. Well, what message do you think his witness sends to the faithful, especially as we celebrate Black History Month?
Well, what's interesting is sometimes you hear people say, well, why do you belong to the white church? You know that the Catholic Church is the white church. But see, what's striking to me about Father Augustus Tolton is why he stayed in the Catholic Church. He put up with incredible prejudice and racial animosity, and yet he stayed. Why? In the face of such bigotry and hatred, he recognized that what the church teaches as the spotless bride of Christ is true and good and beautiful, despite the people in the church who are all in need of God's mercy, who are sinners, and who don't live up to the creed and to the tenets that they actually profess about the faith. And in that way, to me, he's an inspiration.
Absolutely. Deacon Harold, one last question. Tell us about your new show. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, so Father Brian Mullady and I have teamed up once again. This is our 5th series together for EWTN, and it's called God's Blueprint for a Happy Life. And we basically go through the 10 Commandments, and we explore those 10 Commandments and break them open now for a new era, for our day today, and mine the riches of God's articulation of the natural law to see how we can apply that to our life today, especially given everything that's happening in the culture, and how we can work against that by cooperating with the grace of the sacraments and the natural moral law in the 10 Commandments.
That is wonderful. Perfect timing for it, too. Well, Deacon Harold, thank you so much for coming on. It was great talking to you. We appreciate it.
Always great to be with you. Thank you for having me.